Hello and welcome to a demonstration of the NEi Nastran for IronCAD add-on. We're going to go through using the add-on to create a linear static stress analysis and a heat transfer analysis. To start out with, I'm going to open up one of the tutorial files, and you'll find the Nastran tutorial files under the C drive on Program Files, and then Nastran for IronCAD, Tutorial, and InCAD Models. I'm going to open up tutorial1.ics. One thing you will have to do when you first install the add-on is go here to add-ins and then add-in applications and activate NEi Nastran for InCAD 2011. Just hit that toggle there and then the Nastran UI will pop up. You'll find over here on the left to have the Nastran model tree. This is where you interact with all the properties and set up the analysis. Down here is the output and file windows. Those may pop up in the middle of the screen, but you can dock them down here in the bottom or anywhere you'd like. They act just like the other browsers in IronCAD. So the first thing we're going to start with is I'm going to add a mesh to this model. So I'm going to just right-click here on FE Model and select Update All Meshes, and it's going to put in the default mesh there. Now you'll notice it says total nodes of 12,140. If you're using the free version of the Nastran add-on, it has a limit of 10,000 nodes. So if you want to stay within that limit, you can right-click on the mesh here and go to Edit, and just increase the element size to reduce the number of nodes. So I'm going to put that up to 0.3. Hit OK, and it's going to remesh the model. Now you can see I'm well within the 10,000 limit. Okay, next thing I want to do is add a material. So I right-click on Materials, hit New, hit Load here to load the material library, and the material library is located here in Program Files, NEi Nastran for IronCAD, and Materials. So I'll just double-click that and choose the stainless steel option there. Hit OK. The next thing I want to add is the physical properties, so I'll right-click there and hit New, and you can add solid elements, shell elements, align elements. For most solid models, you just want shell elements, or solid elements, I'm sorry. Hit OK there, and then we want to add some constraints, so I'll right-click and Constraints and hit New, and I'm going to come over here and select this back face here to add a fixed constraint to the back face. There's some display options. You can change the size of those constraint indicators, change the color, the density, and whatnot there. There's also different types. We're going to use structural for the stress analysis, but there's also thermal, and you can have different types of constraints, whether it be in either axis, symmetry, things like that. So we're just going to leave it at fixed. Hit OK. I'm going to zoom down on this hole to add a load. So I'm going to right click on Loads and hit New, and I want to pick that face there, and then we're going to put in a force magnitude of 200. There's a lot of different types of loads you can use, force, moment, pressure, so forth, heat. We'll get into some more of these later. With the node limited free license, you can use any kind of analysis you want. You're just limited to the 10,000 nodes. So you can explore all the different options there and run through all the tutorials, of course, to really explore all those options. So we'll hit OK on that. Come back out here. Now we're ready to run the analysis. So I will right-click on Analysis here and select Solve in Nastran. As that's running, you'll see the output window start giving you some status of what's going on, what it's calculating, and that'll run through as it's calculating the solution, and it tells us it's complete. And then you can double click on the results you want to see. So you can see here we've got the contour map of the deformation. I can also right click on that and choose Animate if you want to see the deformation animate, and it'll show that there. You can right click again to turn that off. So you can continue to interact with the model. The nice thing about having the Nastran built right into IronCAD is it's real easy then to update the model and continue the analysis. So I'm going to come in here, and you can edit the model either with the mesh on or off. So if you want to turn it off, you just right click the mesh and hit the display toggle. I'm going to go ahead and add a blend here to the inside edges of the part. Hit OK there. and see the part's updated. I can turn the mesh back on, and you can see the mesh needs to be updated to incorporate the fillet, so I just right click again, FE model, hit update all meshes, and it'll go there and recalculate the mesh. Now you see with the added detail in the model, the nodes went back up. I'm back up over 10,000. So again, I can right click on mesh, hit edit, and I'll bump that up a little bit higher to 0.35, hit OK. It'll regenerate the mesh, and now I'm back below the 10,000 limit. Okay, so now I'm ready to run the analysis again just to see the new results. So I just right click analysis, hit solve in Nastran, and again it's going to show me the status in the output window. And run through its iterations here. You can see it's complete, so I can take a look again at the results, and there's the updated results. So nice to have it all built right in IronCAD, so iterations are really easy to do. Okay, so now we're going to move on to heat transfer analysis. So I'm going to right click here on subcases and click new, so I can create a new subcase, hit OK, and then I can right click subcase 1 and just turn off that activate toggle so that that's inactive. I'm going to go down here. I'm also going to remove the old constraints that I no longer need. Okay, and I need to also change the analysis type from linear static. I'm going to right click on analysis and go to edit, and you can see all the different types of analysis you can run. Again, all these are available in the free version just with the node limit. So I'm going to change it to nonlinear steady state heat transfer. Hit OK there, and then I'm going to go add some new loads. So I'm going to right click load and hit new, and what we want to do is first select this back face and change this to heat flux with a magnitude of 1800. I'm going to add that to subcase 2 and hit OK, and we'll add another load here of type convection. We'll add the ambient temperature 298, convection coefficient 2, and for this what we want to do is select all the faces and then shift select to deselect the ones we don't want, because I just want to remove a few of them here, these outside faces, and then remove that hole there. Okay, now purposely I'm going to leave this out of subcase 2 just so that you can see the fault detection that's built in. It's really nice. So I'm going to hit OK there. I'm going to add one more load type, which will be the initial condition, the initial temperature here, 298, and also leave that one out of subcase 2. So now you'll see, once we go to run the analysis, right click analysis again, go to solve in Nastran, it's going to pop up a message saying it cannot create the analysis because initial temperature is not specified. So it's telling me exactly what's missing from subcase 2. So I just hit OK. I can right click on subcase 2 and hit edit, and just add those two loads that I was missing. So it's a really nice way to notify the user if they're missing something. There's a lot of things to add here, so if you miss something, it'll tell you what it is. You can go right to it and move on. So very nice functionality there. So I'll right click analysis again, hit solve in Nastran. Now this analysis is going to take a bit longer. It's a bit more complicated than the stress analysis, but again you'll see the output begin to show the status there at the bottom, and we'll let that run through. And it's going through its iterations here, and then it's complete. And again, we can take a look at the results there. So you can see the heat beginning here and dissipating as it moves out. So beyond running the analysis right in IronCAD, you can also generate a report. So if we right click on analysis again, and select Generate Report, what it'll do is it'll create an HTML report that you can then load in a web browser that gives you basically all the analysis results that you've done. You can come in and it'll show you a summary, model definition, the properties you used, and it'll give you some images here of the analysis that was done. You can see the deformation one there. So you can create that report, send that to whoever you need to for or keep it for archive purposes for what the analysis results were. So that wraps up basically how the NEi Nastran for IronCAD works. Again, you'll find tutorials here in the add-ins, and click tutorials, and that will allow you to go through all the different analysis types that they have and explore how they work. And again, you can do any of the analysis you want as long as it's limited to nodes. If you purchase the product, you can go with a limited set of functionality on unlimited nodes. If you have any questions on that, definitely please give us a call, and we'll be happy to help. Thanks a lot.